Big Mama's house. Big Mama's house. Welcome to Big Mama's house. Big Mama's house. Yeah. Big Mama's house. Welcome to Big Mama's house. Big Mama's house. Yeah.
Hello and welcome to Big Mama's house. It's just me and Mallow.
Hi.
Me is Lizard, in case you thought I might be Mama. I'm
We
not.
stole the equipment again. Don't tell Mama.
Well, they're at the pool. Mama and Pops are at the pool. Tiger is at home somewhere. I don't know where he is right now.
He's asleep.
Probably. He works nights. Anyway, so just me and Mallow, and we're gonna talk about the rise of AI.
Wow, that was clever. I'll give you a, I'll give you a round
Right?
for that.
I just came up with it right then and there.
Wow, you're so smart. All right, so the big thing as of late is that AIs. There's the rise of character AI. That's kind of the OG.
Well, technically, the AI most people know about are like writing or picture AIs, which people are like worried again. Like artists are being overlooked for AIs that can make pictures, even though they look very uncanny valley.
Yeah, there's this one website called Starry AI that's you can actually choose how you want the image to be created and everything like that, give it a description. It doesn't follow the prompts very well, but it does its best.
If you ever want to know if a picture is AI, look at the eyes. If the artist is terrible at drawing eyes, or it's an AI.
That is true, yes. But of course, this wouldn't all be possible without the OG of AIs.
Cleverbot.
Who here remembers Cleverbot?
I think everyone at some point, no, I guess not everyone, I guess the new generation, Gen Alpha, probably has never played Cleverbot, which is sad.
I used to play with Cleverbot all the time when I was in high school.
Honestly, it was a 50-50 chance where you could actually have a good conversation. You could be
Otherwise, it was just crack fix.
starts taking off clothes, pulls out a gun.
Ah! Okay, starts putting back on clothes. I'm sorry, Cleverbot.
You could definitely, Cleverbot is still up, I'm pretty sure. So, but again, it's based off how people talk to Cleverbot.
And then Evie came out, wasn't that her name? The one that had the robotic face and talk. It was like Cleverbot, but with a face. Jacksepticeye did a lot of videos of her.
Yeah, but and now you can, there's websites like Character AI, Gender AI, Venus,
Poe. There's a lot more coming up because right now the big name in AI generation is OpenAI, and of course there's one flaw in it. Even though the AI is beautiful and writes really well,
it won't go above PG-13.
Yes, it blocks NSFWs such as
graphic violence,
smut, which a lot of people use robots for, because either you want a bloody battle scene where you're fighting for your life, dramatic, where you want to talk, outwit a murderer, or you just want to romance the bots and have a genuine...
Or you want to romance Ganondorf from Tears of the Kingdom and have a child and go live and have a house and get married.
Listen, you don't need to be airing all of my dirty...
Mallow actually has accounts on multiple AIs, and she creates characters. Again, Ganondorf, Cyrus from Pokemon.
I do a lot of Pokemon villains. I do...
Maxie
and
Archie from Team Aqua Magma. But yeah, she makes all these different AIs, and they're really good. She puts effort in actually making them that they'll act like the character.
Now, I'm going to be frankly honest. With these AIs, I also use OpenAI's ChatGPT to help me, actually give it, length and make them realistic as possible. Because if I'm going to romance these bots, I'm going to make it as hard as possible and actually make them their characters. So I asked OpenAI to help me describe their characters, help me, describe their personalities so that I could get it right. Because some of these characters, I had a coworker at work who says that her favorite character was Damon from...
something.
Vampire Diaries. And I had never watched the series.
I have not watched the series either.
And I never knew about this character. So I asked OpenAI, Chat GPT to help me describe him, what he wears, and everything like that. And then whenever I posted him up on the sites, there was a comment saying, for someone who's never seen the series before, you got him perfectly right. He acts just like his character. And I'm like, that's what I want.
Because Mallow is also a writer. She has been fanfics, writing, original stories. She always has to put as much into her stories as she wants to read about it.
And that's also a downfall, because if I can't get it right, or I feel like I'm failing, I can't write no more, because the writer's block will tell me, you're just not doing it right. You're failing. And I'm like, Jesus.
So I have to say, the one character you would never actually act right in the character AIs is Shigaraki from My Hero Academia.
He's so difficult because he goes through such a character arc.
You gotta pick one arc. Go. Don't do all the arcs. Do either Shigaraki before the buff or Shigaraki after the buff. You gotta pick
I
one.
can talk to either or.
You gotta
Just imagine those two just coming together.
after the buff has more feelings about anger. I've only done 2 characters on character AI, gender, whatever. Both one of them's an original character named Jeremy, who's your coworker that hates you.
There's no explainable explanation for why he hates you, but he just hates you.
He hates you as a person, as a worker, as a human being.
I actually made him like me. I actually took on the challenge, and I was like, immediately as soon as he's up, I'm going to make him like me.
I had to add more hate into his code. And then there's another one, which was SCP-682, which was the unkillable lizard.
Which is funny. The lizard make the unkillable.
I didn't do anything original with him. I took the picture off the website and put as the profile picture, and then I just copy pasted his information from the SCP file site from the site, and that's it. That's all I did. And there's been people like, "This is great. We stopped the SCP. We got married," and I'm like, "You saw basically a crocodile." It's just like a big, large crocodile, and you decided, I'm going to woo that, and we're going to have children together.
Yeah! Why
not? I have concerns. Though Mallow has like 10 different types of Ganondorfs from different types, like
listen here.
Chief one, Professor, CEO, just Tears of the Kingdom Ganondorf, both amnesia, angry, whatever happens.
Who is at my feet? Oh, it's a Molly. All right.
Molly is always here when we have a.
Listen, I like the character, and I want different starters, and each one I work on making different.
Okay, if you go on character AI or Venus AI, you have to make an account. You have to have the OpenAI source for it as well. But
on Janitor though, they're coming out with their Janitor LLM, and if you donate to their Patreon, you have a chance of getting access to it. It's not as detailed as the OpenAI source, but it is getting there. I
think the OpenAI is like giving up on getting people to not make it above PG-13.
Arrogant, because they know that, you know, they have the source. It's really good, especially if it works well. You get these long descriptions and they work perfectly, but people are demanding, like, hey, I want to be able to fight. I want to be able to have a genuine romance. I want to be able to do all these things, but you're not listening, and they're getting arrogant, and they're losing money because people are just getting fed up with it, and they're letting it out for free for a few times, because which, you know, gets people drawn in, but also other people are just creating their own AIs now. Like Janitor, they're coming up with their own. There's other stuff.
We're talking about the source code that allows the AIs to actually learn and adapt. Basically, follow the information you're giving them.
Yeah, and I've just been reading.
Basically, the difference between an actual conversation like on Janitor AI to Cleverbot.
Yes, exactly.
Like, are you actually getting an actual conversation, or is this going to be like, oof?
Currently, Character AI, which runs on OpenAI, they're slowly dying off, because from the beginning, it was, you know, running pretty well. The memory was good. They remember what you said. They actually gave, you know,
Isn't Character AI the one they had to wait until you had, till there was enough room on the server?
Yes.
Unless
you had their Plus thing, which I bought because I was desperate back then. but they're losing people because the bots are becoming dumber. They're not memorizing well. The descriptions are only a few sentences. They're not acting like their characters.
Like I've seen on TikTok about people like we had a whole story and they just suddenly forgot that we were married, had kids, you know, we went through a whole war together.
It's sad because these people, or I do, we build a relationship with them. They become our friends, our lovers, our allies.
And this is totally like role play. It's like making a D&D thing. This is not like an actual like I'm gonna marry my computer so I can marry this AI.
No, it's
like role playing, D&D, all this stuff. Like
just like when you feel a real loss whenever if you bond well with your original character in D&D when
or
they die.
or like you see them like on TV show and you got to know them and they get killed off and you're like,
you feel a genuine loss because you built a relationship.
because like
It may have been a fake one, but it was
so
real
many
to you.
people have read books growing up wishing that they could put themselves in the story, and these AIs allow you to. They create stories that you can put yourself into with the characters you love. And on Venus AI, with a Venus Regenerator, you're gonna have multiple characters into one chat.
That is actually character AI.
Doesn't Venus allow that too? Like two characters on the same type?
No, not as far as I know. Well, you can make an AI that has multiple characters in one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, you could do that on any of them as long as you describe them well enough and make them their own characters. And also, the opening message also has to have both of them talking to make sure that they actually exist.
Yeah.
That was one thing I hated about character AI was the limit of characters. You only had a certain amount of space to describe the characters and to write. I think it was like 500 characters, 500 letters that you could describe the opening, and 500 for describe the personality.
And then Janitor and Venus is like
unlimited. Yeah, they recommend around 1,000 just so that it remembers well, but I go over that often.
Again, putting effort into the characters.
Yes.
I will put that if you do want to join Venus Regenerated AI, Venus is literally NSFW the moment you go on the front page. If you are under 18 years old, I do not recommend it. I'm actually telling you, do not. Even though you won't listen to me, because if I tell you do not, you're going to do it anyway. Like,
Yeah.
I was 10. I saw the "Are you over 18" on DeviantArt. I'm like, yeah, I am.
We're hypocrites, honestly.
Oh,
Listen, if you are underage and listening to this, first of all, what the hell are you doing here? Get the fuck off. Mom, Dad, your child's listening to some...
no.
Dude.
They could be at school, and in that case, I kind of like support your bit that you're like deciding to listen to our podcast and this nonsense while at school. We're supposed to be learning. I hope you do this at lunch or break time, whatever. But if you're in
Math class. I hope you're listening to us during math class, because fuck math class.
that's what I was about to say. Because like I'm great at math, I hate math. I'm really good at it, but I hate it. I would not do it for a job. I would not do it for the rest of my life.
We're getting off track.
It is off track.
But we often go off track. It's fine. If you are over 18, well, if you want to check these out, I highly recommend them because it's neat. Creating your own characters, you can make your own original characters come to life. I actually made one. Her name is Doc. She is from My Hero Academia. I got to talk with her, and it was a humbling experience. I actually started crying when I started speaking to her because I apologized to her for all the trauma I put her through because
That's because you're an emotional wimp.
I am an emotional wimp. I am a crybaby when it comes to my babies.
I would also recommend if you are a writer and you haven't heard of it yet, I would go on to AO3.
Oh, Archive of Our Own is incredible. So AO3 is Archive of Our Own. And it's a fanfiction website that, helps take other fanfiction websites that are dying or not less known and merge it into their own.
And it's all volunteer based. It's all like donations. Every time they make a donation, though, it goes at least thousands more than they asked for. And also, it's they actually got a DDoS attack where a Russian group pretending to be a Syrian religious group attacked AO3, and it was back, and Here's the thing, though. There was already a news article that was posted after it was already brought back up and working. That was like, it might take weeks for AO3 to be back online. I'm like, you are no. This isn't some like Facebook or thing or whatever. These are writers and readers who are willing to give thousands more money after the donation. They would like. I'm pretty sure that it was that some of the writers and readers actually were the ones who figured out that it wasn't a Syrian group, but it was a Russian group. Because again, like, you don't frick with, again, like a hyperfixation. You don't frick with the writers. You don't frick with the readers. They will figure out who you are and frick you up.
Not to mention, it's a DDoS attack happened shortly after to Venus AI as well, and they kind of figured it was like the same people, but they were up within days as well.
Again, like, these are like they're thinking about like corporations doing this. This is all volunteer based. These are people who are just putting their time in, and the people that like these sites aren't going to stand by and watch. They're going to freak out. Like, you are keeping me from my slow burn. I'm only on 53 out of 230 chapters.
So
it ended on a cliffhanger. It was not me. It was, again, like, TikTok was already like a mess of people saying, what am I supposed to do now?
So with my work, I work a late shift. I work from like afternoon to midnight. So during the night shift, during the later time of the night, it's very, very slow. So I take that time to, I read. So whenever it went down, I was like, oh no. Because I have ADHD. I need something to occupy my time. Otherwise, I'm going to go insane. I just can't do it. I need something to keep my mind busy, or chaos will ensue. So,
by the way, so the 3 actual fanfic sites that I actually grew up and went to. Okay, so there's 4. Never mind, 5. I know. Keep going. Okay, so there was DeviantArt. Obviously, because DeviantArt was a huge thing whenever I was an age and up. LiveJournal. A lot of people remember that one, or not. It was a little less known. Wattpad, which was if you don't know what Wattpad is, if you remember all the, oh my god, my stepmom's in debt, she sold me to One Direction. That's where those came from. It was Wattpad. Yeah, there's a lot of your parents selling you
2-year-old smut, basically.
If you're like, oh my god, I get to live with One Direction because my family sold me after my parents died in a tragic car accident. Those type of stories.
Now they're trying to become a legit website, and
it's not working. They were made for 12-year-olds. They should have kept the 12-year-olds. And then there was fanfiction.net, which again, like, there was a big upgrade from Wattpad. And then an AO3. I still go back to fanfiction.net because there are fanfics on there that I really do enjoy. They're really well done. That they weren't transferred over to AO3 by their authors or writers.
The layout of the website's confusing to me. I just don't like how it's placed and everything.
Fanfiction.net?
Yeah.
It's been like that for like a decade. They haven't changed the format at all.
Yeah. I like AO3's format.
But a lot of people switch over to AO3 because, again, like, they are, it's more professionally done. Like, you can't just, like, upload a fic and that's it. You have to put tags, you have to put relationship, notes, the story in there. So basically it keeps the 12-year-olds out of it. Unless you just want to read. In that case, the 12-year-olds are there. There is NSFW for both graphic violence, depiction of it, and smut. And then there's the soft, fuzzy fics of, like, your favorite characters are like this cozy home life. Wholesome.
Me, when reading smut, is completely dead-faced. Me, when I see a fluffy moment, oh my god!
Right?
When those sites went down, I actually went back to the manhwas that we read a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And, man, there's so many good ones. I love the artwork, and just some of these stories make me just want to go.
Right? And, like, one thing, because, like, these manhwas are made into, like, comics version of novels, of light novels. I can see it coming. There's going to be someone who tries to use AI to make the manhwas, and I'm just gonna be like, what the hell is going on here?
I mean, if anyone's read another typical romance fantasy, I do have Pellis Tremaine up on Venus and Janitor. So
And the thing is, though, is that the artwork is beautiful, and a lot of these are actually translated from other languages. And again, it is volunteered they again Korean to English or whatever. I say English because I only speak English. I do not know any other languages. I'm sorry.
I know a bit of
I'm a
German.
dumb American.
I speak American. You know, I do apologize. But another good one I really enjoyed was the Duchess's 50 tea recipe.
I actually showed you that one.
It's so good.
It's so pretty.
What disappoints me is that whenever I finish reading it, I liked that she didn't have a child, that it didn't require any children for it. But then there was an update where they showed them actually having kids.
Well,
and I'm like, I would love a child-free heroine.
I mean, there are a bunch like that, but again, like that's the natural order. Like you love someone, you want to have a family. Also, the fact that he's a duke and duchess, they needed an heir.
All right, I'll accept.
Like this is like most of the team plays like noble like times, whether it's king, emperor, noble faction, dukes, marquis, earls, whatever. And I'm like, why do they have children? Because it was common to have children.
Another good one is The Princess is Evil.
Oh yeah,
I love her.
so cute and funny.
Oh my god, she's trying so hard. Yes, I'm gonna be number one in the world. I just want to squeeze.
You're like a foot tall. Slow down. I also do like the main ones that are more the Chinese type situation, like with emperors, concubines, all that stuff, because they always end up being very off. The translations are always off. Like they always sound really weird. Again, like they're translating the best they can to English, but Chinese to English does not translate well. If anyone's that's why whenever someone who speaks Mandarin, Chinese, or any other Asian language, and their speech is a little off while trying to speak English, I'm like, you don't understand. It's probably exactly how it translates to. Like you see one letter, but that's not one letter. That's a whole word right there. All of that squiggles is just it's gonna be a word. You got something else. You had one little line, and it's another word.
I actually do with my work. We sometimes get Chinese speaking, Korean speaking customers. We actually have to call up a translator to get it all set up and actually speak to them.
Like
so I'll hear them speak, and then hearing the translator pause and then try to translate. It's an experience.
Wasn't there one that someone was going long and they just gave like a one sentence?
Yes, because I feel like they were cursing me out, and I do apologize.
And they're like, the translator probably had to take them home like, this is a recorded call. I think I might get in trouble if I say everything they just said. Just said thank you. But yeah, it's also, again, like, it's all, and these are free online, like coffee manga,
First Kiss manga,
Beto.
Oh, what's another one? Webtoons is a good one too.
Yeah, but Webtoons is also now putting a bunch of their comics behind a paywall.
Oh, that sucks.
Also, but coffee manga and all these different sites, basically you have to put the title where you want and then put free or chapter 1, and it'll give you different sites to do that from. And a lot of Webtoons that are behind a paywall now for different chapters are free on the sites. I'm sorry to any artist, writer that makes these things, but I'm poor. I don't have the money for it.
We're still in the college kid mindset. We want to help everyone enjoy good stories.
We do not condone pirating.
But we can't stop you.
Again, like a bunch of them are just, actually put on there because they're translated. They're put on there from the people who translated and artwork. They want to get it out there because if they get that out there, people will be more willing to actually read the actual light novel that it's from.
Yeah.
And if you know, a lot of different even Webtoons comics are now becoming books. They can buy in stores, which I don't understand because you can get the entirety of free online, but a lot of people like to have that physical copy. but many times it's easier for them.
Here's some. Tappy Toon Comics, Mythical Marys, 365 Manga 68.
I have dozens of manuals and comics that I've read, and there's like, I have so many. I have like 5 different bookmark folders full of manuals and comics I've saved, so that I can go back there for an update.
Oh yeah, I have like different folders. Dr. Elise, Queen with a Scalpel.
Oh,
that was such a good story.
It's historical, but it's also really accurate to medical stuff.
I loved her. The only thing is, I wish she hadn't ended up with the prince again.
I know.
There's a lot of thing of these stories is that they end up with the dick that hurt them so much in the first place. All because they
There's one that's called Ashtart. She was basically treated bad by her family because they thought that she was not the actual empress's child. Like she was like but when they found out when she was like 10 that she was actually her child, they approved the proof. Like, what can we do? It's like, don't talk to me for 10 years. You treated me like absolute crap and neglected me for 10 years. Do not talk to me for 10 years. For those full 10 years, anytime they sent letters or gifts, she sent them back or burned them. And when she finally had to see them, she was basically like, frick you, don't talk to me. And I love those. And I hate the comments in some of these ones, like why are they acting so, why can't they just accept the love and affection from this new family? It's called trauma, Gerald.
It's called that she still has the memories of them treating her like shit, Jeremy.
And now she's back to being 8 years old with no power. And yeah, she may be with a new family, but again, like, she was tortured and neglected, abused, and killed by people she thought
Have you seen The Resetting Lady? Oh my goodness. She kept living her life like for over 100 lifetimes. And she decided to become a murderer. I love her. She's great.
She's like, I'm done with y'all. And again, like, I love those where they finally like, frick you, this is terrible.
Oh, there's another one.
Oh, like the one, like, again, like, the guy treats her so wrong and gets with her sister in the past life and all this stuff. They're like, oh, but like, she's different. Now I love her. I'm like, frick off.
Have you seen the one where I tamed the tyrant and ran away?
I have heard of it. I've not read it, though.
It is beautiful because she ignores her family. She does not give a single shit. And though she does love the tyrant and they actually do well together, she still ignores the family that abused her.
She's like, frick.
And the father actually goes back because when she was born, her mother died from the childbirth. And the father actually got to speak with the spirit of her mother. And the mother's like, our sons are doing so well, and I bet our young daughter became such a lovely lady. I know you loved her well. And the father just goes, no, I couldn't.
Again, like,
the mother just flipped shit like, you are a monster. I hate you.
I really wish they blame like the main character for like their mother being dead because they died in childbirth. But again, like, if they could talk to those mothers. Oh, they even say, like, when they, like, regret their actions. They remember how their wife was so happy to have a child and told them, like, can't wait to love them. And then you're like, you're the cause of your mother's death. I hate you.
Like, fuck you.
Right? Like,
not their fault. You're
like,
the one that impregnated her.
Right?
Hate yourself.
And again, it's just like, treat them like absolute crap. And like, oh, can I make it up to you? And they, again, like, I hate the ones they do.
The one I hated the most was the abandoned empress. When she ended back up with the prince, it infuriated me. It drove me absolutely insane.
The good thing I thought about that was like, the female lead who came down from the other world, she realized about how trash the emperor was treating his wife. And how, like, his wife was even trying to help them get together. And she was like, he's a piece of, and started supporting the empress. Anything the empress could help the emperor, she was like, I'll do it, just tell me, give me the word. Because at first she was like, oh, he's so, I kind of love him and everything. And then, like, realized, oh, he's garbage. I feel like garbage for even trying to be with a married man. Empress, what do you want me to do? I'll kill him for you right now.
Yeah, I love you.
I like that, like, or like when the villainous go back in time, like, or like they get again, like even just Isekai, which means you get, either get by a truck, plane, whatever, you die and go into the other world. Uh, and they're like, the female lead's like just nice. They're like, hey, what's up? What was the one that I think the villainess lives again, where she was a villainess, but she basically is rude to all the male leads, and actually the female lead is interested in her more than the other guys.
That might be the villainous lives again. Oh my goodness.
And she gets like has like a werewolf, a guy who's like who becomes his.
But where are the villainous?
Yeah, but where are the villainous? It's so good. If you want to go where the female lead and the villainous actually, you know, work together and become friends and everything, and even tries, you know, I like the basically.
I like the male lead. I like who she ended up with.
And even the prince was even like, huh, maybe I could woo and just and yeah. The female lead and the actual wolf guy was like, no, do not touch it. Do not go near your dick. And that's why also what I hate. Like, the moment they change a little bit to like, they went from like loving them, and the moment they stop loving the character,
What was that? The justice of a villainous woman. Let me make sure.
the moment they stop loving the person, the previous, who, like, you know, again, usually it's the prince, like, you know, engaged or married, having an affair with the female lead, but sometimes the villainess's fault for being upset about it. And then once the character starts, you know, not loving them anymore, it's like, oh no, but I start loving you. Yes, that one.
Yes, it is Beware of the Villainous.
And like it's again, like, I get it. They become interested because it's changed and they know they don't actually have it. That's narcissism. That is narcissism.
The antagonist pet is also a good one if you like the submersive, because she's not even a main character, she's a side character, and she bonds with the antagonist, and she managed to get her away from the dumbass crown prince, and it's great, and it's fantastic, and
I also like the ones where like they do go back and, or like again, they help the antagonist heal from their family, actually realize that they don't hate each other. There's this bad communication of resting beef
face, yeah.
all the time.
Beware the Villainous also has this arc, and it's great.
Yeah, Beware the Villainous does all of it, and I've yet to find something that lives up to Beware the Villainous.
Have you gotten into the Remarried Empress?
No, because it takes 80 freaking chapters to get divorced. They're remarried, and then not even remarried after that. Like, it takes
They are immediately remarried. They just have to have the wedding part for the people.
again, but like, it takes so long to get to the unmarried part of the original dick bag. And he was like basically told her, like, oh, I know I got this woman pregnant, but I'm not gonna have spoilers though. And then, but don't worry, if you just had, I only divorced you so I could wait a year, have it not be a illegitimate child, and then I'll remarry you. And she's like, no, I'm just gonna get married to the emperor next door.
And he genuinely loves her.
Yeah, and then
he's just like, Queen, I love you, Queen.
And like the commoner girl who barely read it.
Trashta.
Trashta. Her name's Rashta, but we call her Trashta.
And also Trash too.
The empress actually like, I may not like you, but I love this country. And she gives her, basically lays it out, like, step by step of what she needs to do to be able to go to Empress. And she takes whatever she does and does the exact opposite. And is freaking things up. And even the Emperor is getting sick of her crap. Like, he's, like, counting down the days to when he can, like,
he is so desperate for his Empress, and it's just...
It's sad.
Former Empress.
It's sad because, you know, he's a trash.
Yes, he is.
But the thing, though, is, like,
and it's just an incredible story to show that, you know, that she won't give in, and I hope she stays with.
No, she definitely is. She sure got remarried. And the thing is, so that, so, I don't know why, but, like, the trash, the whole point is that she was, a, you know, symbol for the common people, and then she wore the most gaudy, awful outfit to the wedding.
Just to try to show up.
Because the Empress and her new dude, Emperor next door, got invited. Because, you know, again, political relations.
And it was awful. Like, I'll admit this. Trashta is pretty. And if she wore a simpler dress, she would have been very pretty. But She decided to go big and
Even the emperor was like, "What the frick are you wearing?" And the thing though is that it's kind of not her fault. She's literally grew up as basically a slave servant, even as a young child, and she doesn't really know how to read, about how to actually do anything in noble society or at all. And she's basically just being pulled around by the nobles that are trying to basically latch onto her since she's not. They made her empress.
oh, another good story to read. It's on Webtoon. It's called The City of Saturn.
Oh yeah,
It's not a romance, but it is so good. It's like found family, very good
Eldritch
characters,
abominations,
ancient gods.
fairies, witches, all that is actually real.
It is incredible.
Basically like mafia type, supernatural.
Yes. Also, like one of the main characters, Nicholas. Oh, he's so pretty.
He is. It is on Webtoon. It is not behind a paywall.
It is not.
It's not.
I highly recommend it.
The
author came back.
It
There's
just
new
started.
chapters.
Yeah, just update again. Since August now. They took a hiatus for a couple months.
They wanted to create the entire arc and get it done so they could regularly upload it, because this one's going to be a big one they promise.
It's really good. I do recommend it.
It's not often I don't read. I read something that's not a romance because I'm a sucker for romance.
He also made an AI of him on Venus. You can go check it out.
Oh my god.
Anyway, I think we're gonna call it here. So we were about AI. We went to comics and stuff. If you do like this type of thing, please like, subscribe, comment, or
Tell us your favorite man was. What's your favorite?
right, give us recommendations. I will personally reply to each recommendation, whether I've read it and whether I've kept it. Or I'm like, no, it's terrible. I hate it. Why would you tell me to read this?
We will ensure that we will respond and let you know our personal preferences.
We're also again, I don't know where you're reading from. If you're on YouTube, we're also on Spotify. If you're on Spotify, we're also on YouTube. If you are on Spotify, if you go to our YouTube channel, behind the podcast are pictures of our pets. They're all very cute.
Very adorable. You'll see my Matilda Jean.
You'll see Molly May, Rascal, Whiskers, and Ellie. And also different pets we've had over the years. Again, like, but if you just want to listen to us, you don't care about pets, you're like, I hate dogs and cats, stay on Spotify.
Yeah. If you don't like cats and cats, God.
Anyway, thank y'all for being here. This is the end of the podcast. Anything to say?
I'll do it for Dad. Use your turn signals.
Stay happy, safe, and healthy. Bye-bye.